Hello, my young Caucasian piston gremlins. Welcome to my dojo. While hundreds of thousands of other people were flying through the Chernobyl exclusion zone drunk off their ass on cheap vodka, I was trying to keep a piece of shit car alive in an exclusion zone set inside Washington, while inhaling canned beans to stay alive against radiation. Do not fear the man who has repaired 1,000 cars once. Fear the man who has repaired the same piece of shit 1,000 times. Over the course of 30 hours, I have merged my mind with the combustion engine of this 80s station wagon. Its pains are mine, and my neurological damage is its. My car has inherited my autism. I present to you the anomaly that has engulfed my life the past week. Pacific Drive. I seem to have been hit by the crackhead special. Fuckers stole my tires. This Russian hot rod simulator is a game which combines two genres nobody gives a fuck about separately and makes a game that lights up every one of my neural processors like I took one of those gas station dick pills. My suppository is full of moon sugar. In this game, you play as a mute, non-defined player character. You were frolicking around the border of the exclusion zone, but then a silly little anomaly decided it wanted you to join in on the fun. So you got sucked in and sent past the wall. The exclusion zone of this game is a large area in Washington that's been barricaded off from civilization for safety reasons. In here, reality itself is continuously breaking down and coming back up, causing the terrain to change every time you visit it. A road you drove down fairly easily one day can turn into an infinite void the next. If that doesn't sound horrifying, I haven't even talked about the locals. I'm being fucking robbed! Let go of me! Let go of me! But I'll save that for a bit later. As you crack into the zone, you get labeled a breacher due to you being a rare instance of a person getting past the walls. As you walk in, you get greeted by a beautiful sight. A functioning vehicle. Okay, barely functioning, but it's got 4 wheels. After you attach the 4th one. And a combustion engine, so you'll be fine. As you step into your newly acquired Chop Shop recheck, you gain contact with some of the only people you'll be hearing this game.
This is Tobias Barlow and Francis Cook, located in Mid-Zone Sector B. Do you read me?
2 gay lovers that are huge Bigfoot fanatics. They tell you to stop over by Oppie, another one of the only NPCs in this game. She's the inventor of Limb Tech, an infinite energy source, and the cause of the entire game even happening. But who cares about that? You gain access to her garage and go through a brief tutorial on what's going on. Blah blah blah. You do a very safe experiment.
Launching the car into Cappy's core. I'm sorry. What? Oppie? Anytime now, Oppie?
That reveals you're in possession of a remnant, and it's your car! A remnant, in brief description, is a strange object with weird properties that gets connected to a person and drives them mad. Some examples from the game are a record player that sometimes plays voices of people you recognize, a microwave oven that when you oven the warm food out, the cold eat the food. So overall, you're destined to die of car-induced psychosis. But for now, you have a job to do. The main aspect of gameplay, and the part that triggers all the wrinkles in my brain, is upgrading your sloppy jalopy into something that can actually be considered a vehicle. This game's car damage functions similarly to another very fun game, Project Zomboid. Each piece of your car has its own health, and if it bumps into something or gets hit, it has a good chance of getting damaged. Each piece of your car can and will be destroyed, leaving you with nothing but a chassis and hopefully the engine. To upgrade your car, you'll need another major component of this game, resources. You get a lot of tools at your disposal to get these resources. A crowbar for opening the unopenable, a scrapper, which is your bread and butter. It can turn car parts into scrap and electrical appliances into even more scrap. Not everyone wants to spam E, so to pick everything up, you have a vacuum that you can make. Point in the direction of junk and it'll be yours. There's a few other utilities like sucking up light bulbs or getting swamp gunk. And I know what you're thinking about. No, you cannot. It'll rip it straight off. The impact hammer is a giant one-pump chump of a jackhammer that can slam the locks off of anything that crowbar can, and it can also slam off more specialized locks. With the use of these tools, you can get a healthy amount of scrap to make everything you really need. The fabrication station is the way you'll get most of your recipes and contraptions in your garage. Out on the roads, you'll find anchors. These sparkly nuggets hold the energy necessary to power the fabricator and its spewing paper needs. The anchors come in 3 different colors, yellow, orange, and purple. Guy. Each provides a separate type of energy that can be used on different junk in the fabrication station. There's One thing these anchors all share in common, though, as soon as you rip it out of its stand, a concentrated amount of shit will start hitting the fan, causing an influx of anomalies to try and resize your holes. Due to the very safe nature of reality itself crumbling, you will be constantly pestered by anomalies. The anomalies can range from just an angry puddle to this guy. I'll just blitz through some of the more iconic anomalies and some of my personal favorites. These are tourists. Much like the French, we don't really pay attention to them. They have a sort of weeping angel, peanut from SCP thing to them. They're pretty much harmless, just don't touch them. Bunnies come in many different elements, from farting on you to puking on you. Most of the bunnies are just angry bastards that'll shock you or make your car lose control, but there are two of them that are low-key kind of cool. They just charge your battery and heal your car parts. The bunnies stick to your car like a barnacle when they land on you, but you can easily detach them with a simple maneuver, either a kick or just picking them up and tossing them away. This is an airstrip. I really like these. They turn off the gravity of anything that touches them, especially your car. These can be very fun. Just be careful with them. What you just witnessed was the acts of the left-right. They hijack your car's controls and 90% of the time cause you to imitate Paul Walker. They have one weakness though, the handbrake. Can't do shit to me if I just fucking don't. Yeah. Now that you have a basic grasp of what the game is about, let's show you a very fun part of this game, and a really important one, the escape. Since the roads are constantly changing and everything around you is crumbling, going back is not the safest choice. This is where warping out becomes your best option and only option. By connecting your Who's and What's Its map to an allowed warping spot, you can open a giant beacon that'll teleport you back to the garage. There's one simple problem though. It's a race. A race against what, you may ask? The world eating itself alive. First comes the radiation, then the death wall. This can cause some very intense scenarios. That sounds fantastic, doesn't it? Yeah, it's true. But there's more! By the point you get access to more of the zone, you'll discover another part of the game. Junction conditions. Like any good mission-based PvE game, there are plenty of modifiers that can end up added to missions, from positive to interesting. I'm not gonna name off all of them, because there are nearly 50 of the fuckers, but all of them do something very fun. When you warp out of a junction, you leave a wake of crap, turning that spot less stable than my stepdad. These spots are far more dangerous, they get additional modifiers that are also higher difficulty. While I'm on the topic of mentioning random parts of the game in an incoherent order, let's talk about quirks. Not the lame ones from that one anime, these quirks are in your car. Due to your vehicle being a remnant, the zone's interference might start doing peculiar things, be it your wipers turning on the dome light, making all your doors slam shut when you go downhill, or fuck, I've seen some people have it when a door opens, that door opens! Every 60 seconds, a minute passes in Africa. My favorite one I've seen was definitely someone that got it that when they honk their horn, the car accelerates pretty quickly. Guess what game has an event that triggers your car to randomly honk and fuck with anything relating to the battery? They got stuck in a brief Looney Tune chase to catch their car. It was delightful. Reddit points to you, my good sir. This game scratched an itch in my brain I've had for a god-awful time. I'm obsessed with cars, and being able to talk about a car game that isn't just monotonous or really boring to watch is fantastic. It does have one negative that I'll briefly mention. It takes a lot of time to play this game. A lot of Steam reviews and random people talked about it. Some of the drives take like an hour, and some people just don't have the time for that. I personally don't have a life. I play video games the whole fucking day. So this didn't impact me in the slightest. This product is amazing. Purchase it and play it. I will now continue making wonderful content while consuming my confectionery treats. Stay tuned, and if you enjoyed, subscribe.